Tuesday, September 23rd. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, fall sitting. Politicians set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall session. Your top news headlines just ahead.
Also, almost time for another edition of Tia Tuesday. This morning we'll meet an entrepreneur who's helping women empower and heal through the simple act of journaling. That's a little later.
Plus generators for your entire home. We'll check out the benefits of this type of backup power solution so that you're covered in case of an emergency. Those stories and so much more coming up on the Tuesday edition of CTV Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, come on in. It's Tuesday, September 23rd. First full day of fall. Here we are. It's autumn, everybody. Let's all celebrate. Woo! Autumn! Welcome, autumn.
Woo!
New season.
Where are the cupcakes, Amanda? We need the autumnal cupcakes.
No, and I thought too, sometimes I've brought in fall decorations for the set as well. It's just so busy right now.
Yeah,
busy
that's
time
fair.
busy time of year.
It's busy time. I love how autumn just melts gloriously into, kind of summer melts into autumn. Autumn melts into winter usually. Love this time of year, but I actually enjoyed the crispness in the air yesterday.
Right?
Yeah.
It's nice to have things cool down a bit. It was really hot last week.
Yeah.
So we are still getting our daytime highs to be above seasonal across the region. So we're still getting that sunshine, still getting that warmth, but it's nice to wake up in the morning. Just a cool start to the day.
Yeah. Reset. Press reset. Yeah,
Exactly.
we love it. Oh, it's dark in Antigonish right now.
Absolutely. A very dark start to the day and a cool one at that. So just keep that in mind when you are heading out early this morning for your commute. We will be seeing temperatures warm up, and it's not as cool as we saw Monday morning. So definitely a warmer start to the day in terms of yesterday's early morning temperatures. As of right now, 12 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, 14 starting off your day in Charlottetown, with 9 in Halifax, 11 degrees in Sydney and St. John's. We do still have an air quality statement that remains in effect for parts of New Brunswick, something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that community today. And over to our satellite and radar, we are seeing a bit of fog early this morning for parts of the region that will dissipate a little bit later. A bit of a cloudy start to the day for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, and a bit of precipitation tracking across parts of the region. I'll have that breakdown in the long-range forecast. But because of the sunshine, we're still reporting the UV index, currently tracking moderate to high across all 3 maritime provinces, and remains low to moderate throughout your day for both Newfoundland and Labrador. In terms of the wind, yet again, out of the southwest, 35 kilometers per hour this morning in North Cape, 13 into Grand Etang as well as into Halifax, 11 starting off your day in Moncton, Charlottetown, and St. John. No wind gusts to report at this time, and I'll have a look at your long-range forecast just ahead. But first, a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 6:03. Politicians are set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall sitting. The governing Tories have been largely silent on the specifics of their legislative agenda for the sitting. However, the opposition NDP has said it will introduce legislation that would lower power bills by 10% and protect private information. The Liberals also say lowering power bills is a priority as well as pressing the government on the cost of living and reining in spending. Meantime, Nova Scotia's government is forecasting its largest deficit on record. It's a $1.2 billion shortfall. We have seen large deficits predicted by the Conservatives before, only to end the year in a surplus. Still, opposition members say this amount of spending should be setting off alarm bells.
Elsewhere. This government have become masters of what I can only call creative accounting. We never know if a projection is going to swing wildly in one direction or another. But the bottom line is we have the most spending in history, and we don't have a lot to show for it.
I can't predict what the end of the year will look like. This is the most accurate and best information we have right now.
Healthcare costs remain the biggest item in the spending plan. $8.3 billion, or 46% of the budget, goes to healthcare services. Also later today, classes will resume at Dalhousie University. Dalhousie students who were hoping for a bit of a refund on tuition for missed class time because of the recent labor dispute are out of luck. In a statement, the school says refunds are off the table because adjustments have been made to the academic calendar to make up for the 3 weeks lost to the lockout, and the education outcomes will be the same. The student union had been fighting for significant refunds, suggesting students had lost about 21% of the total semester. Fire crews were called to a house fire on Cobequid Road in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia last night. Emergency crews closed the road, but in an online post, firefighters said flames had spread from the deck into the house itself and surrounding trees. They managed to get the situation under control, but the home sustained significant damage. No word on how it started. In New Brunswick, some say it was a bad batch that caused a sharp increase in drug overdoses in Fredericton last week. Police responded to 13 overdose calls on Friday alone. They suspect fentanyl is involved.
To have 13 overdoses in a 24-hour period in the city the size of Fredericton is not a normal amount of overdoses.
So what the lab would allow us to do is circumvent a lot of this from like these spikes, for example, by giving us the infrastructure to test up front, see what's in the supply, know definitively what's in the supply.
In 2024, there were 109 overdose calls in the city. So far in 2025, there have been 113 calls. If water levels in St. John drop even further, by 1 meter, the problem will hit a new level of urgency. City officials say water will have to be pumped from First Lake to Robertson Lake, with a dam being constructed under the bridge.
We want to have the lakes back up and full by wintertime, and it's important to have that stored water and ice over the winter to kind of get us through next year.
For now, the voluntary advisory in effect is meant to help the city of St. John stay above water throughout the fall. The drought is also having an impact on Nova Scotia's wine industry, but not all bad.
When it comes to grapes, unlike some other agricultural products, grapevines can handle a fair amount of drought stress.
Turns out established grapevines have a fairly high tolerance for drought, but not necessarily younger plants. Either way, the final product might turn out better.
Higher quality, more intensified flavors. So from a quality standpoint, the crop should be good this year.
And the province's wine industry is worth about $245 million annually. And that is your first look at your local news headlines. On this Tuesday morning, I'll have your national and international headlines after Latavia's latest look at the forecast.
Well, we're looking forward to that, Amanda. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Let's give people a chance to win some money, shall we?
Yeah,
all right,
do it.
Let's get rich, everybody. You can win our staggering $20,000 because we're giving it away, and now it's time for today's code word. So let's imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. Dream vacation, home renovations, pay off some bills. Well, that choice is up to you. If you win the contest, today's code word, sunrise. All you have to do is plug in that code on our website or scan the QR code you see on your screen there. Tomorrow, tune in because there's another code word and another chance to win. Good luck to you.
Very exciting.
Yeah, and we're waiting for the sunrise in about maybe an hour or so from now. And it's our first full day of fall, too.
Yay! Fall!
Embrace the season. Okay, so still ahead, I'll have your national and international news headlines, and Latavia will have our first full look at the forecast for this Tuesday. Right now, we take a live look at George Street in St. John's, Newfoundland. Quiet this morning. Please stay with us. We'll be right back after our first break.
A dark start to the day over in Lunenburg. Welcome back and happy Tuesday. The time now is 6:12. Currently 12 degrees starting off your day in Lunenburg. We will be seeing mainly sunny skies as the sun begins to rise. Lots of sunshine throughout your day and evening showers. So for today, we are looking at another cool start to the day, but much warmer than we saw on Monday morning. As of right now, 8 degrees heading outdoors in Labrador City with 11 starting off your day in St. John's. as well as into Sydney. 9 degrees in Halifax with 13 in both Charlottetown and Fredericton. We do still have an air quality statement that remains in effect today for the northern Queens County and New Brunswick. We are seeing a reduction in some local air quality due to wildfire smoke, so something to keep in mind if you are heading out today in that community. Over to our forecast timeline, a bit of a foggy start to the day. We are going to see fog patches dissipate, as well as sunshine early this morning for parts of Atlantic Canada. We do also have wet weather tracking across our region, as you can see here. For Newfoundland and Labrador, a chance of some showers starting off the day for parts of those provinces, as well as into the northern region of New Brunswick. We will be seeing some isolated showers starting off the day. Into the afternoon, we are going to see increasing cloudiness for parts of the region, still seeing a chance of showers loom across parts of Atlantic Canada. And then into the evening, we are going to see a chance of showers move into parts of Nova Scotia, so mainland Nova Scotia into the Tri-County area and parts of Cape Breton Island, as well as Prince Edward Island. Taking us into early Tuesday morning, we do have a chance of showers continuing across parts of Atlantic Canada. So if you're wondering about the precipitation totals, we're looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Also going to see around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Isolated showers throughout the day today for the northern region of the province. For the central region of the province, we're looking at a chance of showers early in the morning, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies. And then for the southern region, looking at mainly cloudy skies starting off your day, a chance of showers into the afternoon. Daytime highs today, 18 to 22 degrees, being the warmest into Fredericton, Miramichi, as well as Moncton. A high of 19 degrees across Prince Edward Island today. Starting the day off with sunshine, we will be seeing a chance of showers move into the afternoon. It's only around a 30% chance of it happening. Wind picking up yet again today out of the southwest, 20 gusting to 40. For Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, highs between 19 to 22 degrees today. Looking at the same sunshine starting off the day, a chance of some isolated showers into the afternoon, and pretty light wind out of the southwest, only 20 kilometers per hour. For the rest of Nova Scotia, high of 22 degrees today, mainly sunny start to your day. Increasing cloudiness into the afternoon, being left with a mix of sun and cloud. Showers arriving for this part of the province into the evening. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, 12 degrees for Labrador City today. A chance of showers early in the morning, clearing, leaving mainly cloudy skies, and seeing mainly cloudy skies for St. John's with a high of 18. Wednesday's forecast, I should say, we're into Tuesday. We're looking pretty clear, but we do have some lingering showers across parts of Atlantic Canada. And then into Thursday's forecast, we're going to see some steadier shower activity moving in for the maritime region. And into Friday's forecast, another wet day expected. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. There is pushback from the medical community after U.S. President Donald Trump announced that pregnant women should not take acetaminophen, linking it to autism in children, despite doctors saying the medicine is safe. CTV's Mike Lecouture has more.
I want to say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it.
Flanked by his health secretary, U.S. President Donald Trump took aim at one of the best-known pain relievers. Trump's targeting Tylenol for pregnant women, promoting unproven claims that using the drug during pregnancy could cause autism.
So, since 2000, autism rates have surged by much more than 400%.
Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pushed back against a question, wondering if that rise was because of a better understanding and better ability to diagnose the disorder.
If it were better recognition or diagnosis, you'd see it in 70-year-old men. I've never seen this happening in people my age.
It comes a month after a review of previous data which found evidence of a link between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and neurodevelopmental disorders. The European Medicines Agency has looked at the evidence and decided the findings are inconclusive.
It's turning out that we understood a lot more than a lot of people who studied it, we think. And I say we think because I don't think they were really letting the public know what they knew.
Kenvue, the makers of Tylenol, said in a statement, "We believe independent, sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned with the health risk this poses for expecting mothers." In a statement, Health Canada says acetaminophen is safe and effective for relieving pain and reducing fever when used as recommended, including during pregnancy and while breastfeeding.
CTV's Mike Licator reporting from Ottawa. And among those reacting to Trump's position on Tylenol during pregnancy are Canadian families who have children living with autism. CTV's Adrian Gabriel has more.
When young Luca was just 3 years old, his mother, Christina Kalura, received confirmation that her little boy was on the spectrum.
My thought process automatically turned to not what he can't do, but what he can do.
The Trump administration's medical claim is taking a toll.
I'm literally shaking as I'm talking about it because it's so scary to think that we're now going to be creating a stigma against moms.
What type of stigma do you believe a mother such as yourself could now be facing?
What did you do when you were pregnant to cause, and I can't even say it, cause your child to have autism?
Kalura isn't alone.
When I was pregnant with my daughter, who is on the spectrum, I didn't take any medication at that time, so there was no Tylenol in the mix, and she's autistic.
Alina Cameron's daughter, Fiona, is 10 years old. Cameron is the president of the Ontario Autism Coalition. She's also an epidemiologist.
We know from these large population-level studies that there's no link.
This study, released by the American Medical Association Journal, investigated use of acetaminophen during pregnancy among nearly 2.5 million children in Sweden. Analysis that didn't include siblings found marginally increased risks. Analysis that did include siblings found acetaminophen use during pregnancy was not associated with children's risk of autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability.
It is the most safe and effective pain reliever we have for pregnant women. It's also used sometimes to reduce fever, which in pregnancy can be very dangerous to the fetus.
Kalura is taking the day's news in stride.
Our main focus should be on the supports and the therapies and supporting our children of all needs and abilities.
Christina Kalura asked that we share this quote with Canadian families who may be struggling on this day. She says, "Autism is a journey I never expected, but I sure do love my tour guide."
CTV's Adrian Gabriel reporting from Toronto. To other news now, fans of late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel are waiting to see what he will say when he returns to the air tonight, nearly a week after ABC-owned Disney took his show off the air. Disney now says the move to bring him back comes after days of thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, adding that his show was suspended last week to avoid further inflaming a tense situation, and calling Kimmel's comments after conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination, quote, ill-timed and thus insensitive. Back here in Canada, the Canadian Football League is making some big changes. That includes moving the goalposts, literally.
Absolutely no percentage of these changes were made because of any type of comparison to the NFL.
The league is moving the goalposts from the front of the end zone to the back. This will allow more touchdowns in the middle, remove an obstruction for players, and create better sight lines for fans. The field is also shrinking from 110 yards to 100. The single point known as the Rouge is staying, but only for tackles in the end zone, and team benches will be on the opposite sides in every stadium. The league says the changes will create more consistency and lead to more touchdowns. That's a look at your national news headlines on this Tuesday morning. A quick break. We'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN in just a moment.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back at 6:24, and a reminder, you can connect with us easier than ever now. You can email us at yourmorningatlantic@ctv.ca. Send us your thoughts, your comments, your photos and videos. We love to receive those. And now you can text us at 10400. Standard messaging and data rates apply, but it's a very easy way to connect with us. And soon we'll have our Move Morning Chat, and you can connect with us on our topic of the day.
Very exciting. Can't wait. All right. So we're going to switch gears right now. It's time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Waglin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we take you to Atlanta. We got the Nationals visiting the Braves, bottom 5. Ha-Seong Kim hits one in center. Jacob Young sliding, makes the catch, but the ball pops out of his glove. He reaches back with his bare hand to secure it. Great concentration by Young, who makes a circus catch for the second time in 2 games. Looks like he hurt his hand on that one as well. It is your must-see moment from Monday. And kind of Tuesday on TSN, we got dub playoffs. We got the Mercury battling the Lynx in Game 2. Minnesota with a 1-0 lead in the series. Pre-game coverage for that one gets underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
Love that. Love that we can do sports now.
I know. That whole extra hour.
Coming up, we're going to have a lengthier pack on what's going on in the CFL, but they literally moved the goalposts, like big changes in the CFL.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I know you grew up in the Toronto area. Were you an Argonauts fan back in the day?
No.
Okay.
It was more so Blue Jays, Leafs. Those were the games that I like to go to.
Well, luckily, your Jays are doing great right now.
I know. I wish I could go to a game, but, you know. There's so much more nowadays.
For sure. Now, CFL, I know we have a lot of fans here on the East Coast. I became a fan when I lived in Montreal. Really? They moved from the Big O, which is where the Expos used to play, and it was a kind of a, it wasn't a space with great vibes, if you will, but they moved everything over to McGill, where there's an outdoor stadium, and it had that feeling really of like football, kind of like an energy.
Oh, yeah.
And that brought fans back to the Alouettes.
That's so cool.
So at the time, it was a hot thing, and I went to several Alouettes games and learned to fall in love with the CFL football. But for me, honestly, I don't really understand the rules anyway, so these changes aren't going to really impact my enjoyment. But there are a lot of people out there for whom it might make a difference.
Absolutely. Right over my head, though, Crystal. All right, now we're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast. Starting off today for New Brunswick, we are going to see a chance of some showers tracking across parts of the province, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon, a high of 21. 19 degrees on Wednesday. We will be seeing clouds clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And then on Thursday, showers return with a high of 18 degrees. Nova Scotia is looking at a high of 22, starting off the day with sunshine, seeing a chance of some isolated showers into the afternoon. And then on Wednesday, 20 degrees, much of the same, mainly cloudy skies starting off the day, isolated showers for parts of the province. Then on Thursday, sunny skies with scattered showers, a high of 19. Prince Edward Island's looking at a high of 19 degrees, starting off the day with sunshine, isolated showers into the afternoon. Clouds clearing on Wednesday, leaving a high of 17, 21 on Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, evening showers.
Coming up this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. It's all about nostalgic toys. We'll check in with Peter and Aaron to see what they think should be in the Toy Hall of Fame. That's coming up in this half hour of CTV Your Morning Atlantic.
Morning at 6:31 on your Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for kicking off the morning here with us. Amanda, Crystal, and Latavia with you. We're talking about toys, nostalgic toys a little bit later in the show. We want to get your opinion on it too. Thank you to everyone too who has taken a moment to send us a text message. We have a new text message line at 10400. It is worth noting standard message rates do apply, but we are checking that throughout the show. I've been checking it during commercial break. We've already received a few messages this morning. Wow. So yeah, thank you so much to our viewers who are taking. Oh yeah, you guys are up early with us, which we appreciate. So thank you to everyone who's just taking the time to test it out. And a reminder, if you haven't texted yet and you want to try it out, it's going to give you a prompt which CTV show you watch. And of course, we're Atlantic. And then from there, you're good to go.
Then you're in.
Then you're in, and we can chit chat back and forth. It's great.
That first little exchange, it's kind of like the secret handshake on the clubhouse door. Then we let you in, and then you're in. You're in forever after that. So yeah, it only takes a second.
Only takes a second. But yeah, you can use it too to let us know about weather. in your region, or if there's a traffic update that we're not talking about, we would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And speaking of weather, we're going to take a look at Bridgewater early this morning. It is a bit of a cloudy and a wet start to the day. We are going to see a chance of some showers looming in your area. We are going to see some spotty shower activity for parts of Atlantic Canada on and off throughout the day today. So if you are already seeing some showers, let us know. But starting off a bit cool early this morning, not as cold as we saw into yesterday morning. But as of right now, 8 degrees as you head outdoors in Labrador City with 11 into St. John's. 11 degrees also starting off your day in Sydney, 9 in Halifax, 13 in Charlottetown and in Fredericton. We do still have an air quality statement that remains in effect for parts of New Brunswick. Something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that community today. A bit of a foggy and cloudy start to the day. We are going to see sunshine in our forecast, though, as well as some precipitation tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada throughout the day today. Because of the sunshine, still reporting the UV index. It remains moderate to high for the Maritime region and low to moderate for both Newfoundland and Labrador. In terms of the wind, it's going to pick up for parts of the Maritime region yet again today. As of right now, out of the southwest, 31 kilometers per hour in North Cape. 15 into Charlottetown with 13 starting off your day in Grand Etang, as well as into Sydney and Yarmouth. No wind gusts to report at this time. I'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead. But first, another look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 6:33. Classes resume at Dalhousie University today. Dalhousie students who were hoping for a bit of a refund on tuition for missed class time because of the recent labor dispute are out of luck. In a statement, the school says refunds are off the table because adjustments have been made to the academic calendar to make up for the 3 weeks lost to the lockout, and the education outcomes will be the same. The student union have been fighting for significant refunds, suggesting students had lost about 21% of the total semester. Also returning, politicians set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall sitting. The governing Tories have been largely silent on the specifics of their legislative agenda for the sitting. However, the opposition NDP has said it will introduce legislation that would lower power bills by 10% and protect private information. The Liberals also say lowering power bills is a priority, as well as pressing the government on the cost of living and reining in spending. Meantime, Nova Scotia's government is forecasting its largest deficit on record. It is a $1.2 billion shortfall. We have seen large deficits predicted by the PCs before, only to end the year in a surplus. Still, opposition members say this amount of spending should be setting off alarm bells.
Elsewhere. This government have become masters of what I can only call creative accounting. We never know if a projection is going to swing wildly in one direction or another. But the bottom line is we have the most spending in history, and we don't have a lot to show for it.
I can't predict what the end of the year will look like. This is the most accurate and best information we have right now.
Healthcare costs remain the biggest item in the spending plan. $8.3 billion, or 46% of the budget, goes to healthcare services. Fire crews were called to a house fire on Cobequid Road in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia last night. Emergency crews closed the road, but in an online post, firefighters said flames had spread from the deck into the house itself and surrounding trees. They managed to get the situation under control, but the home sustained significant damage. No word on a cause. The mother of a young woman who was struck and killed by a driver in Halifax earlier this year says she will continue to advocate for tougher penalties for people who use vehicles as weapons. Dozens of Alexandria Wortman's family and friends packed into court yesterday for the sentencing hearing for the man who killed her. 32-year-old Deepak Sharma pleaded guilty in July to criminal negligence causing death and 2 counts of fleeing a collision. Sharma was involved in 3 collisions one January evening, first hitting a vehicle and swiping the driver as he fled from the scene, then doing 126 kilometers an hour in a 50 zone on Jubilee Road, striking Wortman in a marked crosswalk at a 4-way stop. With her lodged in the windshield, he swerved through traffic until he struck another vehicle. Wortman's loved ones recounted the toll on their mental health yesterday. The judge ultimately accepted the joint recommendation, meaning Sharma will serve 4 years in prison and have a 10-year driving prohibition upon release. Some say it was a bad batch that caused a sharp increase in drug overdoses in Fredericton last week. Police responded to 13 overdose calls on Friday alone. They suspect fentanyl is involved.
To have 13 overdoses in a 24-hour period in the city the size of Fredericton is not a normal amount of overdoses.
So what the lab would allow us to do is circumvent a lot of this from these spikes, for example, by giving us the infrastructure to test up front and see what's in the supply, know definitively what's in the supply.
In 2024, there were 109 overdose calls in the city. So far in 2025, there have been 113 calls. Finally, wait staff put their speed to the test in Paris as they race through the streets of the French capital. Hundreds of contestants took part in the event on Sunday. They had to carry a tray loaded with water, coffee, and a croissant and walked a roughly 3-kilometer course without spilling a drop. The race was first held back in 1914. It returned last year after more than a decade-long hiatus. Some talented servers there. Do you two have experience in the service industry?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Blink and you'll miss it.
It wasn't my favorite. I tip well because I know it's not the easiest job in the world. But to walk 3K with a tray, that's hard.
Right, along cobblestone too. I serve tables. I worked at Athens, a Greek restaurant that's no longer there on Quinpool Road for years through university, and it's tough. The max number of plates I could hold was 3. But there were some people that could do 4 or more, and that was always very, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, gosh. There's also the big tray. You know, there's a big tray where they come and they set it down on that little stand.
And they have this stand that comes out.
Oh, Crystal, you had the steak? Great. Okay, Amanda, you had the chicken soup at Latavia?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, love that one.
Great memory. And
the memory. I'm always nervous when they don't have the notepad out.
Like, oh, I know, the ones who can remember it all and all the exceptions that you want.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what day it is this week, let alone remembering someone's order. I definitely get it wrong.
Well, shout out to all the service people out there. We appreciate you. It's hard work. Let's talk about something. This is another kind of a bit of news. It's not happy news, but I think it's important to shine a light on this. The future of Canada's wildlife is at risk, according to a stark new report from the World Wildlife Fund. Now, the Living Planet report found more than half of the species studied are decreasing in abundance. The biggest declines were seen in grassland habitats, where wildlife populations declined by 62% on average since 1970, so this is over the last 50 years. In forests, mammal populations declined by 42% over the last 5 decades, and throughout the country, animals on the list of threatened species saw populations decline by an average of 43%. This related to climate change, human behavior, construction, all things that are part of our modern world, and so a reminder that our ways do have an impact on our animal friends.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, good news to bring forward, though. Yeah,
yes, absolutely. If you know the problem, you can find solutions.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to take another break here. Lots more to come over the next 2.5 hours, including your entertainment headlines. But after the latest look at the forecast, what do you think should be in the Toy Hall of Fame? We had discussed this late last week, the new contenders, and we're putting that question to you. It's a question Aaron and Peter want to know today in today's Moving Chat. We'll share our thoughts, and we want you to share yours. It's coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:44. We're taking a live look at Fredericton. 13 degrees starting off your day, a cloudy start to the day, and a bit dark early this morning. We are expecting a chance of some isolated showers, and that will clear out, if it does happen, into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. So we are going to see a mild start to the day. It's feeling a bit cooler, though, for parts of Atlantic Canada. 8 degrees right now, heading outdoors in Labrador City, with 11 into St. John's, as well as into Sydney early this morning. 13 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, and 9 in Halifax. We do have an air quality statement that remains in effect for parts of New Brunswick early this morning. Something to keep in mind if you are heading into that community. We are seeing a reduction in local air quality. Over to our forecast timeline. A bit of everything early this morning. We're going to see sunshine as the sun begins to rise for parts of the Maritime region. And then early this morning, seeing a bit of wet weather tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. Into the afternoon, we are going to see a chance of showers continue for parts of New Brunswick, increasing cloudiness, but still being left mainly with mainly cloudy skies, and sunshine still tracking across much of Nova Scotia. Into the evening, we are going to see a chance of some isolated showers pop up for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, still seeing a chance of showers continue for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Taking us into early Wednesday morning, where we do have a bit of precipitation tracking across the region yet again. If you're wondering how much rainfall we're going to receive, only looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Again, 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of Newfoundland. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, seeing a chance of isolated showers throughout the day today for the northern region. For the central and southern region of the province, could see a chance of showers on and off throughout the day. Daytime highs will range from 18 to 22 degrees, being the warmest into Fredericton, Miramichi, and Moncton. A high of 19 degrees today for Prince Edward Island, starting off the day with a mix of sun and cloud, seeing a chance of some isolated showers move in this afternoon, with wind gusts getting up to 40 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, same thing applies, starting off the day with some sunshine, and then into the afternoon could see some spotty showers return. Daytime highs between 19 to 22. So for the rest of the, well, clearly I'm a little lost. All right, so we're gonna move forward. Moving on again, let's go. Okay. Back to Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia. Now we go to the rest of Nova Scotia. I clearly need more coffee today. 22 degrees is your daytime high, mainly sunny skies. And then into the afternoon, seeing increasing cloudiness, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. A chance of some isolated showers into the evening. Newfoundland and Labrador. 12 degrees today for Labrador City. Showers starting off your day will clear out into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Also seeing mainly cloudy skies for St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast on Wednesday, looking quite clear. We are going to see sunshine, but we do have some isolated showers returning for parts of the Maritime region. And then into Thursday's forecast, we're going to see some steadier showers move in for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces, looking at around a 60% chance of it happening. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Now we're going to head over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's all fun and games for the Move Morning Chat with our friends Aaron and Peter in radio. You have a really fun topic for today.
Yeah, we're talking about the Toy Hall of Fame. The finalists came in for the class of 2025. And, you know, we've been talking about those finalists. It includes things like Battleship and Cornhole, the scooter. Snow even made the list. It got us, you know, feeling nostalgic, and we wanted to throw it out there to you. What would be in your personal Toy Hall of Fame?
I'm going to throw one out there for you. My personal Toy Hall of Fame would have to start and definitely include Hot Wheels toys.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, they're still hot. Now you can still get them for $5 or so in a pack of 6 for under 20. And then all of the kits that you can get as well. I love Hot Wheels, and I still get excited when I see them in toy stores.
That's a fun one, and they last forever, too. My favorite, easy peasy. I am obsessed with Fisher-Price Little People. Like, when I was a kid, I had the castle, and I still have, I collected, actually. I've got a whole, like, my attic is filled with all the toys that I had when I was a kid, and I built up the collection. Like, I love that stuff.
And in Crystal's defense, I have also seen her thrift Little People toys as well. And Peter, if you are missing out on playing with those Hot Wheels, come to my house, because my 8-year-old would love to play with you. For me,
I'm there.
You're there. The mini Polly Pockets, which are the original Polly Pockets from like the early 90s. I'm a millennial. Those toys were iconic, and how your whole playset was in your little Polly Pocket, but then they changed the size years later.
Yep.
Not the same.
I know we had a cousin, an older cousin, that gave us, gave my kids that. They're so cute. I love that set.
Yeah, my parents kept them, and they are still played with in our family today with the younger generation.
Did you mention one, Aaron?
No, but I'm also a millennial, and I'm wondering, Amanda, if you ever owned Moon shoes. Moon shoes would be in my Toy Hall of Fame. They were like little trampolines for your feet, and you would strap yourself in and just jump as high as you can. I know a lot of ankles were hurt in the process, which is probably why you can't get them anymore. But Moon shoes. They started making them in 1992, I think, and we were obsessed with them.
I would love those. Reminds me, I've always wanted those Heelys. Never had them, but Heelys would have been the deal. Anywho, we want to hear from you. What would be in your personal toy Hall of Fame? Let us know by texting 10400, standard message and data rates apply. We will have all of these responses at the end of the show. Share with us now.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. It's 6:53. Now we're going to take a little trip over to Hollywood for a look at your entertainment headlines.
Impressive. The first trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu has dropped. Following up 3 seasons of the popular Mandalorian TV show, Pedro Pascal returns for the movie, which follows the famous bounty hunter and his trusty sidekick as they navigate the early days of the New Republic. Sigourney Weaver and Jeremy Allen White also star in the Walt Disney Studios film. Look for The Mandalorian and Grogu in theaters May 22nd, 2026. Peter Parker. Tom Holland is taking a few days off from filming the upcoming Spider-Man movie after sustaining a concussion over the weekend. The incident happened while filming last Friday, and the concussion is said to be mild. Spider-Man Brand New Day is scheduled for a July 2026 release. Harry Styles ran the Berlin Marathon this weekend, the former One Direction singer completing the race in under 3 hours. The profile linked to his bib number shows he registered under an alias. This isn't Styles' first marathon. In March, he hit the streets of Tokyo for the city's annual 26.2-mile race. And speaking of One Direction, Styles' former bandmate Zayn has announced a Las Vegas residency set to take place this January at Dolby Live at Park MGM. It follows up the singer's solo tour last year, which marked his first tour date since leaving the band in 2015. Pre-sale tickets go on sale Wednesday and are available to the general public on Friday. And the boss is celebrating a birthday. Bruce Springsteen is 76 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Happy birthday to the boss. That is your entertainment headlines. Happening now in local news. Politicians are set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall sitting. Plus, classes resume at Dalhousie University later this morning. And in Fredericton, some officials say it was a bad batch that caused a sharp increase in drug overdoses last week. Your top news headlines just ahead. But first, it's a look at the 3-day forecast with Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. For New Brunswick today, we're looking at a high of 21 degrees, mainly cloudy skies with some isolated showers tracking across parts of the province today. Into Wednesday, a high of 19, clouds clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And on Thursday, a high of 18, scattered showers expected across the province. For Nova Scotia today, a high of 22 degrees. We will be seeing some sunny breaks, but also a chance of some isolated showers. And then for Wednesday, a high of 20, mainly cloudy skies into the Tri-County area, looking at some isolated showers. And then on Thursday, sunny skies and scattered showers into the afternoon. Prince Edward Island is looking at a high of 19 today. A mix of sun and clouds starts off the day, isolated showers into the afternoon. On Wednesday, a high of 17, sunshine into the afternoon. And then on Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with evening showers.
It's Tuesday, September 23rd, still ahead. Fall sitting. MLA is set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall session. Your top local news headlines and national news just ahead.
And how do you choose and use your little one's car seat? The folks from Child Safety Link will show us how. Give us a little refresher. That's coming up this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. The time now is 7 o'clock. Wakey, wakey. Hope you're awake and alert. I am clearly not today.
Did you get that extra cup of coffee yet?
I'm on a struggle bus. Well, even yesterday. I can't really dress safe today. I don't know what is happening with me. I apologize.
You have 18-month-old twin boys.
Yeah.
And work a morning
Coffee's
shift.
not working.
Oh, it's going to work. It's going to work. You're doing great. We're
Thanks.
glad you're here. We really need that weather information.
Well, I appreciate that, Crystal.
We really
Thank
need
you.
it. And it's just been, it's so important to have that information now so you can dress appropriately before you head out.
Absolutely. You know what the funny thing is? I like plan out my outfit of what I'm going to wear to work the night before. And I put it out so it's easy to grab in the morning because I basically get dressed in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and you
when
look
I
adorable.
Thank you. But when I take out the dog, that goes out the window because it's quite cool sometimes in the morning, right?
Yes.
You see the frost in the cars and you're like, nope, that is not happening. I need to dress warmer.
And you just put on whatever layers you can.
With the flashlight looking for different clothes.
Oh my gosh. I lay out my clothes too because I don't want to wake up my husband.
Right?
And then there's the day you forget socks or underwear. Then you have to go in there with the flashlight back in the drawer. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not alone. Try not to wake everyone else up. But maybe the dog knows you're awake and says, oh, like,
let's
what's going on?
Yeah. This is the realities of our life. But we're not complaining. We're happy to be here. In fact, it's 7:02. Normally, we'd be starting the show about now.
Isn't that wild?
All the information we've been robbing our viewers of all these years.
Right?
I know.
For shame. Well, now you have it. And we'll let you know how to get dressed while you head out the door early this morning. So it is a bit of a cool start to the day. For parts of the region, still much warmer than we saw Monday morning. But here's a live look at Moncton. Currently not really seeing much traffic at this time. 11 degrees starting off your day. We are going to see above seasonal daytime highs headed your way for much of Atlantic Canada a little bit later on. And a mix of everything in our forecast for today. But starting off, not too bad early this morning. It is 13 degrees headed outdoors in Fredericton as well as into Charlottetown. And currently 11 degrees in Sydney as well as into St. John's. 9 degrees heading outdoors in Halifax and 8 into Labrador City. We do still have an air quality statement that remains in effect for parts of New Brunswick, something to keep in mind if you are heading out in that community today, as well as a bit of precipitation tracking across the region. Some isolated showers expected early this morning for the northern region of New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, parts of those provinces seeing some precipitation as well. But we do also have sunshine remaining in our forecast. So because of that, still talking about the UV index currently tracking moderate to high across the maritime region and low to moderate for both Newfoundland and Labrador today. In terms of the wind, it remains out of the southwest early this morning, 31 kilometers per hour for sustained wind in North Cape, 13 in Grand Etang and in Sydney, 15 kilometers per hour in Charlottetown, 11 in Halifax and Canso. No wind gusts to report at this time, and we'll have a look at your long-range forecast just ahead. But first, we'll turn our attention over to Amanda for your local news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Politicians are set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall sitting. The governing Tories have been largely silent on the specifics of their legislative agenda for the sitting. However, the opposition NDP has said it will introduce legislation that would lower power bills by 10% and protect private information. The Liberals also say lowering power bills is a priority, as well as pressing the government on the cost of living and reining in spending. Meantime, Nova Scotia's government is forecasting its largest deficit on record. It is a $1.2 billion shortfall. We have seen large deficits predicted by the PCs before, only to end the year in a surplus. Still, opposition members say this amount of spending should be setting off alarm bells.
Elsewhere. This government have become masters of what I can only call creative accounting. We never know if a projection is going to swing wildly in one direction or another. But the bottom line is we have the most spending in history, and we don't have a lot to show for it.
I can't predict what the end of the year will look like. This is the most accurate and best information we have right now.
Healthcare costs remain the biggest item in the spending plan. $8.3 billion, or 46% of the budget, goes to healthcare services. Also resuming today, classes at Dalhousie University. Dal students who were hoping for a bit of a refund on tuition for missed class time because of the recent labor dispute, they're out of luck. In a statement, the school says refunds are off the table because adjustments have been made to the academic calendar to make up for the 3 weeks lost to the lockout. And the education outcomes will be the same. The student union had been fighting for significant refunds, suggesting students had lost about 21% of the total semester. In Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia last night, fire crews were called to a house fire on Cobequid Road. Emergency crews closed the road, but in an online post, firefighters said flames had spread from the deck into the house itself and surrounding trees. They managed to get the situation under control, but the home did sustain significant damage. No word on how it started. Staying in Lower Sackville, a person is in custody after a threat was made toward Sackville High School Monday. The school says the threat was made in the afternoon and police arrived within minutes of being called. The individual was arrested without incident. The school was not placed in a lockdown, but police remained on scene for the remainder of the school day. And in New Brunswick, Riverview High School was placed in a lockdown and then evacuated after staff received what's called information of an alarming nature Monday afternoon. The school says the information was received just after 1 p.m. yesterday. Police were called and the lockdown was initiated. Shortly after, students and staff were evacuated to a nearby church. New Brunswick RCMP say the investigation is ongoing. Now to dry conditions. If water levels in St. John drop even further, even by 1 meter, the problem will hit a new level of urgency. City officials say water will have to be pumped from First Lake to Robertson Lake, with a dam being constructed under the bridge.
We want to have the lakes back up and full by wintertime, and it's important to have that stored water and ice over the winter to kind of get us through next year.
For now, the voluntary water advisory in effect right now is meant to help the city of St. John stay above water throughout the fall season. Meantime, the drought is also having an impact on Nova Scotia's wine industry, but it's not all that bad.
When it comes to grapes, unlike some other agricultural products, grapevines can handle a fair amount of drought stress.
Turns out established grapevines have a fairly high tolerance for drought, but not necessarily younger plants. Either way, the final product might turn out better.
Higher quality, more intensified flavors. So from a quality standpoint, the crop should be good this year.
The province's wine industry is worth about $245 million annually. Finally, this is just a great excuse to show some adorable dogs. Dogs over in Winnipeg had a barking good time recently at the coolest party in town. This is called Barkfest. It's a festival that celebrates everything canine with contests, training, and of course, lots of treats, and funds raised support furry friends at local animal rescue groups.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Now, this is in Winnipeg. I know we had the pet wedding in Halifax over the weekend.
There's my dog. That's the dog of my dreams.
Will be your future dog.
Yes, it will.
Crystal even has a Chihuahua sweater vest right now.
I do. I do.
Adorable.
I hesitate to wear it on air, but I did wear it to work today.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah, you walked in this morning.
I got it from Simon's.
It's so cute. Oh, look at that. See, we need to do a bark fest here.
We really do.
Come on.
Well, I do love dogs. I also love stories about shipwrecks.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's another one. This is a ship that sank nearly 140 years ago, but they just found it. Researchers say they found, this is the images, look how clear and crisp it is, 140 years old. Researchers say they found the F.J. King, which is a wooden schooner that sank in Lake Michigan during a storm in 1886. Before now, it's been known as a ghost ship because it eluded search efforts for decades. Researchers used sonar technology to find the wreck earlier this year. They say that the ship's hull is remarkably intact. Wow. This is just the beginning. I'm sure as they do more work, we will get to see more images, but so cool.
So eerie. I love it.
So eerie. Gosh, yes. Right? Certainly that was a terrible day in 1886 when it went down, but
cool to see it now.
Though. Cool to see it now.
Imagine the answers now that they're going to find after finding it, too.
Exactly.
It's in there. All right, still ahead, Latavia will have a full look at the forecast for this first full day of fall, and also coming up after the break, what new parents and even guardians should keep in mind when buying a car seat. Great advice for the grandparents, too. Sometimes you're watching the little ones. Safety regulations have changed over the years. We'll tell you what the newest rules and suggestions are when it comes to car seat safety. That's coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:13 on your Tuesday morning. We're taking a live look at South Maitland. Starting off a bit cool, we are going to see above seasonal daytime high headed your way. And as you can see from the live eye, lots of sunshine early this morning, mainly sunny skies. with increasing cloudiness expected into the afternoon, but still being left with a mix of sun and cloud. It is another cool start to the day, but not as cold as we saw yesterday morning. You may want to layer up still when heading outdoors. 8 degrees right now in Labrador City, 11 into St. John's as well as Sydney. 9 degrees starting off your day in Halifax with 13 in both Charlottetown and Fredericton. We do have an air quality statement that remains in effect for northern Queens County, still seeing a reduction in local air quality, something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that community today. Over to our forecast timeline. A bit of a foggy and cloudy start to the day for parts of Atlantic Canada. Fog will dissipate. We will be seeing sunshine return across Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and parts of New Brunswick. We are going to see precipitation track across the region, though, for our forecast. So some isolated showers for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Also seeing a chance of some isolated showers early this morning for northern New Brunswick. Into the afternoon, much of the same expected. We're still going to see some isolated showers tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. Then into the evening and overnight hours, seeing a chance of showers return for parts of Cape Breton, mainland Nova Scotia, as well as the Tri-County area and parts of Prince Edward Island, taking us into early Wednesday morning, where we do have sunshine in our forecast yet again, but also seeing some spotty shower activity tracking across parts of the region. Only 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation expected for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Same thing goes for Newfoundland. So for our forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at some isolated showers throughout the day today for the northern region. For the central and southern region of the province, seeing some spotty showers on and off throughout your day. Daytime highs between 18 to 22 degrees. For Prince Edward Island, a high of 19 degrees today, starting off the day with a mix of sun and cloud, seeing a chance of isolated showers returning into the afternoon with wind gusts still getting up to 40 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, looking at highs between 19 to 22 degrees today, a mix of sun and cloud starting off your day as well, seeing a chance of showers return into the afternoon. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, a high of 22 degrees, lots of sunshine throughout your day, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon, still being left with a mix of sun and cloud, seeing a chance of some isolated showers returning into the evening. For Newfoundland and Labrador, we are going to start the day off with some showers, and then that will clear out, leaving mainly cloudy skies, a high of 12 degrees over in Labrador City with 19 for St. John's, seeing mainly cloudy skies throughout the day. So on Wednesday, although you don't see it, we are expecting some isolated showers to track across parts of Atlantic Canada. Still going to see sunshine remain in our forecast. And then for Thursday, temperatures moderate just a bit. Still going to be seasonal, but we are going to see some scattered showers track across parts of the maritime region first, making its way over to Newfoundland and Labrador. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 7:16. There is pushback from the medical community after U.S. President Donald Trump announced that pregnant women should not take acetaminophen, linking it to autism in children, despite doctors saying the medicine is safe. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more.
I want to say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it.
Flanked by his health secretary, U.S. President Donald Trump took aim at one of the best-known pain relievers. Trump's targeting Tylenol for pregnant women, promoting unproven claims that using the drug during pregnancy could cause autism.
So, since 2000, autism rates have surged by much more than 400%.
Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pushed back against the question, wondering if that rise was because of a better understanding and better ability to diagnose the disorder.
If it were better recognition or diagnosis, you'd see it in 70-year-old men. I've never seen this happening in people my age.
It comes a month after a review of previous data which found evidence of a link between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and neurodevelopmental disorders. The European Medicines Agency has looked at the evidence and decided the findings are inconclusive.
It's turning out that we understood a lot more than a lot of people who studied it, we think. And I say we think because I don't think they were really letting the public know what they knew.
Kenvue, the makers of Tylenol, said in a statement, "We believe independent, sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned with the health risk this poses for expecting mothers." In a statement, Health Canada says acetaminophen is safe and effective for relieving pain and reducing fever when used as recommended, including during pregnancy and while breastfeeding.
CTV's Mike LeCouture reporting in Ottawa. Fans of late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel are waiting to see what he will say when he returns to the air tonight, nearly a week after ABC-owned Disney took his show off the air. Disney now says the move to bring him back comes after days of thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, adding that his show was suspended last week to avoid further inflaming a tense situation, and calling Kimmel's comments after conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination, quote, ill-timed and thus insensitive. That is a look at your international headlines. A quick break on Your Morning Atlantic, but when we return, we're talking car safety tips for children. It's coming up.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 7:22, and guess what? It's Child Passenger Safety Week. And as a parent or caregiver, it can be quite confusing to navigate a car seat, so it's important to do your homework ahead of time. To provide a refresher on car seat safety, we welcome back Catherine Hutka, the Health Promotion Specialist with Child Care Safety Link. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning.
So this is the perfect time to do this chat. Not only is it Child Passenger Safety Week, you've got an exciting study that's just about to come out.
That's right. So the results of the study are going to be released tomorrow. But today I thought we'd have a little preview and kind of talk a little bit about it. And so over the last year, we've been, we have been going across Nova Scotia, and we have been stopping drivers who didn't know that we were coming. And so we looked in the vehicles of almost 700 drivers in Nova Scotia, and we looked at how 1,005 children were being transported in Nova Scotia. And we kind of compiled that data and analyzed that data and took a look at it and thought, well, what are the top errors? What are the top mistakes that parents and caregivers are making that may be putting their child at risk that they might not know about?
Amazing.
So today I thought maybe I'd come and talk about those errors.
The top issue. So the big study comes out tomorrow, but we're getting a sneak peek with the top 5 things that you were seeing across the board. Okay, let's begin. This is great information. Yeah.
So the first part is to know that car seats and booster seats and seatbelts save lives. You know, we know that this is one of the #1 reason that children are fatally injured in Canada is in motor vehicle collisions. But we also know that car seats, the right car seat used correctly, can reduce the chance that a child is killed by up to 71%.
Huge.
So it is not nothing.
Okay.
You know, we were talking about how we used to be not so restrained back in the day, but we know that it's a game changer.
Okay, we got just a couple minutes, so let's whip through these for people because this is great info.
Yeah, absolutely. So our first tip is to make sure that the harness is snug. We did find that that was something that was, consistently came up as an error that caregivers were making.
I'm just going to see, even though the child might be fussing and complaining, you got to snug that baby up.
That's right. So you want to remove all the slack in the harness, and then you want to tighten that harness until you can't pinch a horizontal fold here. So if you're trying to get a pinch at the collarbone, you shouldn't be able to hold that a pinch. You should just kind of pop out of your fingers, right? And so if it's a little bit looser, you can hold that pinch and tighten that harness until that pops out of your fingers. And that's how snug we want that to be, because we want in that moment of a collision, we don't want that child to go anywhere.
They're right in there, nice and snug.
We want them to be right there. The next part of that harnessing is making sure the chest clip is in the proper position at their armpit level, and that's to hold the harness up over their shoulders.
Perfect.
And the level as well. So in a rear-facing child, this child would be rear-facing, facing the back of the car. We want that level of the harness to be at or below their shoulders. If they were forward-facing, we want to move that up to above their shoulders.
Interesting. And then let's talk about the tether, because that's one a lot of people miss. Show the tether.
Yeah, absolutely. So the seat should be tightly attached to the car with the seatbelt or the lower anchors. But then another key mistake that we saw a lot of caregivers making is in a forward-facing seat, the tether should always be attached. So if this was a forward-facing car seat, once it's attached with either the lower anchor strap or the seatbelt and locked and very snug to the car, the next step is that tether. And so we did see that 1/3 of caregivers in Nova Scotia had missed the tether on a forward-facing seat. And so this is so important because it prevents it prevents the top of the seat from rotating down, and it reduces that movement of a child in a crash, right? That could mean the difference between having a serious head injury or no head injury at all.
There you go.
So that's why the tether is so important. You can see this one's red to let you know to pay attention.
So important. Let's go over to this one for a second, just because we have just a few seconds left, but this is such good information.
Absolutely. So once a child is moving move to a booster, another thing that we had noticed was that the seatbelt wasn't properly placed on the child's body or routed correctly through where it should go on a booster seat. So here, once you move to a booster seat, the booster's job is to lift the child up so that the adult seatbelt fits their smaller frame correctly. And we want to see that lap belt nice and low on their hips, touching their thighs. And we want to see the shoulder belt between their neck and their shoulder and resting on their chest. And so the seatbelt is the star of the show when it comes to a booster seat. We want to make sure that it's directly on the child's body, that it's going to be there in that moment that they need it, and that they can sit correctly on every ride.
Look at this child all snugged in nicely. The seatbelt's perfectly, they are well in there. Catherine, this is great information. Can't wait for the study tomorrow. Where can we get more information, though, if we want to do a refresher ourselves?
ChildSafetyLink.ca, and on all of our social media this week, we're going to be posting some results, and we're going to be posting, this clip and many others.
Perfect. Okay, so we put that website on ours to make it easy for you to find. Now we're going to head over to break. There we go. So is this mom putting her kid in, hopefully snugging her up nice and safe. We're going to take a break and be back with more CTV Morning Live right after this.
Coming up in this half hour's time for Tia Tuesday, we'll check out a guided journal that's designed to help women manage their stress and anxiety. That's coming up in 15 minutes on CTV Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, 7:31. We're halfway through our show already on this Tuesday, September 23rd, first full day of fall. We're in a child passenger safety week. So much going on.
It was interesting to hear the results of when they pulled over drivers. And noticing, hey, did you know, can they offer some suggestions and tips?
I'm looking for got her to check mine.
For sure.
She left.
Well, it is like tomorrow we'll get the results of that study, but super interesting. They actually talk to parents and they notice these. For example, that tether. I thank heaven my children are all safe now, but I didn't even use that once in my entire time.
And do all of them come with it? I don't even
It's only for the forward facing, so you're probably not there yet. When the time comes,
they're forward facing.
Just go to Child Safety Link.
Are they supposed to be? I don't know. It's so confusing. It's like a different language.
So and you could probably call up Child Safety Link and actually get like a one-on-one, till they get overwhelmed with group responses and they're like, CTV Morning Live, quit sending people to us. But I think that's where they're there. They're there to help. They're there to keep kids safe. They're happy to help.
But it's true. Rules change all the time. You'll hear it from different generations of parents, even the difference of a few years being like, oh, I thought it was this way. No, actually, the rules now say you do it this way. So that's why it's so important to stay up to date with the latest information from the people who know it.
So sure, no more folding lawn chairs in the back of the bed of the truck like when I was a kid.
Or car seats in the front.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, or none at all.
Or none at all,
yeah. That's true too. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's switch gears and talk about the weather. Taking a look at St. John early this morning. A bit of a cloudy start to the day. We are going to see mainly cloudy skies for much of New Brunswick today. A bit of a cool start to the day, but still warmer than yesterday, 13 degrees as you head outdoors. And we are expecting some isolated showers heading your way. For our current temperatures today, 13 degrees also starting off your day in Fredericton and Charlottetown, 9 degrees early this morning in Halifax, 11 in Sydney and St. John's. We do still have an air quality statement that remains in effect for the northern Queens County in New Brunswick, something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that community today. And in terms of our satellite and radar, a bit of sunshine early this morning. We are going to see sunshine into the afternoon as well, but also seeing a low track across the region, bringing some isolated showers. Because of the sunshine, we are going to talk about sun safety. The UV index is currently tracking moderate to high across all 3 maritime provinces. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, tracking low to moderate throughout your day. In terms of the wind, out of the southwest this morning for the maritime region, 31 kilometers per hour for sustained wind in North Cape. 15 is starting off your day in Grand Etang, 17 kilometers per hour in Charlottetown, 13 in Canso and in Halifax. No wind gusts at this time, but could get up to 40 kilometers per hour into the afternoon. I'll have a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Classes resume at Dalhousie University today. Now, students who were hoping for a bit of a refund on tuition for missed class time because of the recent labor dispute are out of luck. In a statement, the school says refunds are off the table because adjustments have been made to the academic calendar to make up for the 3 weeks lost to the lockout, and the education outcomes will be the same. The student union had been fighting for significant refunds, suggesting students had lost about 21% of the total semester. Politicians are set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall sitting. The governing Tories have been largely silent on the specifics of their legislative agenda for the sitting. However, the opposition NDP has said it will introduce legislation that would lower power bills by 10% and protect private information. The Liberals also saying lowering power bills is a priority, as well as pressing the government on the cost of living and reining in spending. Meantime, Nova Scotia's government is forecasting its largest deficit on record. It is a $1.2 billion shortfall. We have seen large deficits predicted by the PCs before, only to end the year in a surplus. Still, opposition members say this amount of spending should be setting off alarm bells elsewhere.
Government have become masters of what I can only call creative accounting. We never know if a projection is going to swing wildly in one direction or another. But the bottom line is we have the most spending in history, and we don't have a lot to show for it.
I can't predict what the end of the year will look like. This is the most accurate and best information we have right now. Things like cutting taxes and tolls.
Healthcare costs remain the biggest item in the spending plan. $8.3 billion, or 46% of the budget, goes to healthcare services. Clearing my throat there. To news now, fire crews were called to a house fire on Cobequid Road in Lower Sackville last night. Emergency crews closed the road, but in an online post, firefighters said flames had spread from the deck into the house itself and surrounding trees. They managed to get the situation under control, but the home sustained significant damage. No word on a cause. The mother of a young woman who was struck and killed by a driver in Halifax earlier this year says she will continue to advocate for tougher penalties for people who use vehicles as weapons. Dozens of Alexandria Wortman's family and friends packed into court for the sentencing hearing for the man who killed her. 32-year-old Deepak Sharma pleaded guilty in July to criminal negligence causing death and 2 counts of fleeing a collision. Sharma was involved in 3 collisions one January night, first hitting a vehicle and swiping the driver as he fled from the scene. Then doing 126 kilometers an hour in a 50 zone on Jubilee Road, striking Wortman in a marked crosswalk at a 4-way stop. With her lodged in the windshield, he swerved through traffic until he struck another vehicle. Wortman's loved ones recounted the toll on their mental health. The judge ultimately accepted the joint recommendation, meaning Sharma will serve 4 years in prison and have a 10-year driving prohibition upon release. If water levels in St. John drop even further by 1 meter, the problem will hit a new level of urgency. City officials say water will have to be pumped from First Lake to Robertson Lake, with a dam being constructed under the bridge.
We want to have the lakes back up and full by wintertime, and it's important to have that stored water and ice over the winter to kind of get us through next year.
For now, the voluntary advisory in effect is meant to help the city of St. John stay above water throughout the fall. Finally, the drought is also having an impact on Nova Scotia's wine industry, but it's not all bad.
When it comes to grapes, unlike some other agricultural products, grapevines can handle a fair amount of drought stress.
Turns out established grapevines have a fairly high tolerance for drought, but not necessarily younger plants. Either way, the final product might turn out better.
Higher quality, more intensified flavors. So from a quality standpoint, the crop should be good this year. The province's wine industry is also worth about $245 million.
annually. Let's look at local news, and I'll have some health and medical news coming up too shortly. But first, we're going to get to our big contest that everyone's enjoying.
Yes, people love this contest.
Yeah.
It's time, if you missed it, time for your code word going to be revealed right now. But just a reminder, we have a $20,000 giveaway going on, and all you have to do is enter the contest for your chance to win. And what you do with the money, totally up to you. Win the money, don't even have to tell us, although we'd love to know. Sunrise is the word today. And to enter, you simply go to our website, ctvatlantic.ca, or scan that QR code on your screen, enter the word sunrise, and then tune in again tomorrow. There'll be a fresh code word and a fresh chance to win. What are you going to spend the 20 grand on today, Amanda?
Ooh, herbal tea for my throat, maybe.
That's true. you manage that just fine, I know.
Sometimes that happens when you're speaking, yeah.
You?
Using your voice.
A food shopping spree.
Ooh,
Feeling
fun.
hungry today.
Yeah, I love that. For me, I'm going to buy, I really liked Mr. Lynch's shacket in that report of the grapes. I'm going to go shopping.
Yeah, fall fashion.
Fall fashion.
I love this. Well, maybe you'll want to use that money to buy a journal, too.
Sure.
Coming up next, the power of journaling. We'll find out how it can help heal anxiety, build courage, and also rewrite your story. We'll speak with the woman behind Jules Wellness Journals when we return.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:43. We're taking a live look at Halls Harbor. A bit of a cool start to the day, 9 degrees, but going to see lots of sunshine throughout your day before a chance of some showers returns later into the evening. Temperatures slowly rising early this morning. You still may want to layer up before heading outdoors. As of right now, 8 degrees right now in Labrador City, 11 into St. John's, Newfoundland, as well as into Sydney, 13 starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Fredericton, 9 in Halifax. We do have an air quality statement currently in effect for northern Queens County, still seeing a reduction in some local air quality there due to wildfire smoke. So keep that in mind if you are heading out in that community today. So a bit of everything early this morning. We are seeing sunshine early this morning for parts of the Maritime region, but we also see some isolated showers tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, a bit cloudier for parts of Newfoundland. So into the afternoon, we will be seeing that chance of isolated showers remain for northern New Brunswick. Still seeing some shower activity for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. And then into the evening, we'll see a chance of showers spread for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, taking us into early Wednesday morning, where we do expect some sunshine, but also seeing some precipitation remain in our forecast. If you're wondering about the precipitation for the Maritime region, looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters. Same thing goes for parts of Newfoundland. So for our forecast today for New Brunswick, isolated showers for the northern region throughout the day today. Seeing showers clear for parts of the province into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. Daytime highs will range from 18 degrees to 22. A high of 19 across Prince Edward Island, looking at a mix of sun and cloud today. A chance of isolated showers into the afternoon. Wind will pick up out of the southwest, 20 gusting to 40. And then for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, looking at a mix of sun and cloud today. A chance of showers returns this afternoon, quite low and spotty in its activity. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, a high of 22 degrees, mainly sunny skies start off your day. Increasing cloudiness into the afternoon, still being left with a mix of sun and cloud and isolated showers into the evening. For Newfoundland and Labrador, 12 degrees in Labrador City today with showers starting off your day that will clear, leaving mainly cloudy skies. And same thing goes for St. John's with a high of 19. Wednesday's forecast, we are going to see sunshine extend across parts of Atlantic Canada, still seeing some lingering precipitation at around 30% chance of it happening. And then into Thursday's forecast, much of the same, but we are going to see a chance of some scattered showers, increasing cloudiness as we head towards the evening on Thursday. So that's a look at your weather forecast on this Tuesday. We'll throw things over to Crystal.
Thank you, Latavia. It's 7:46 and time for Tia Tuesdays. Today, we're highlighting an entrepreneur who's helping women empower and heal themselves through journaling. Joining us is creator and owner of Jules Wellness Journals Limited, Jules, or Juliana Sheriff, and Tia Upshaw, CEO of Black Women in Excellence. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Good morning.
Let's start with you, Jules. The spotlight's on you today. Let's talk about your journal. This is your journal, Breathe. First of all, how did you get into journaling?
I've been journaling since I was a child, and off and on throughout my life to work on trauma, addiction as well. And whether or not I was in therapy, sometimes I could afford therapy and other times I couldn't. but this is an accessible tool, and it's just easy to be able to sit down and get your thoughts out of your head and onto a piece of paper. And so I've been journaling almost my entire life.
And that's what journaling is. It's getting the thoughts out of here and putting them somewhere else.
Absolutely.
No, this Breathe is guided journaling. What's the difference between guided journaling and just picking up a piece of paper and writing?
Well, guided journaling is amazing for people that are afraid of the empty page. So a lot of people, they say, I can't journal, I'm not good at it, I don't know what to write, I don't know where to start. And with a guided journal, you've got prompts every day. So with my journal, at the beginning, it asks you your why. Why did you buy the journal? And then it gives you some grounding activities to get you ready. And then every day for 90 days in this journal, you're asked, how are you feeling mentally and how are you feeling in your body, which is a very somatic way of healing. You're looking at the whole picture. And then what needs your attention today? And so that is happening every day. And then you can track patterns. You can see what's happening. And then I also give the journaler a full page to write. So it's not just prompts. Because some guided journals are just prompts. But I wanted people to have room to write every day, but also be able to sit down and write their thoughts like a brain dump. And there's also a brain dump section in the journal.
So you were like, basically all the tools you need right here in this little book. Yeah, I'm curious, how did Jules get on your radar?
She's an entrepreneur.
Okay.
She's an entrepreneur, but honestly, Jules started being in the same space as I was in. She's very quiet, nothing like me. But she just came on my radar, and we just started talking, went out for a coffee, and then we just stayed connected, and now she's in all the same spaces as me, talking about her journals, talking about healing and wellness. And for me, journaling has been everything. When I wrote my memoir 2 years ago, it was hard, yes. But it wasn't difficult to find the information because I've been journaling since I was a 16-year-old girl. So all I had to do was go get my old journals, pull them out, and start pulling information from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also have gained great benefits from journaling. Sometimes I just grab a page and do the dump you're talking about, which is product. Gets the toxic stuff out and onto the page.
Healing.
Then you can throw the page in the garbage, burn it, do whatever the heck you want with it.
I love the burn.
The right prompts can really crack you open, and you can discover things about yourself that you didn't even know you needed to discover, which can be helpful. Before we go, I want to talk about this is actually physically beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful.
Talk about how the cover is made of recycled ocean plastics.
So the environment is extremely important to me, and the ocean, turquoise, is my favorite place to be. And there's so much plastic in the ocean, and I just felt that the cover needed to be recycled. And I found a printing company that use plastic from the ocean to make their covers for their journals, and so that was extremely important to me.
It's beautiful, feels nice in the hand, it's discreet, you can take this with you anywhere. I love the ribbons in there.
The whole thing is beautiful. It's not even just thrown together. Like, you can tell it was made with intent.
Yeah, I am my avatar. I am the target market. I target midlife women who are struggling to do all the things, the family, the household chores, the finances, everything, and then trying to find accessible tools to add to their mental health toolbox in order to just get all of this out of their head. Because when we lower our anxiety, we go from sympathetic nervous system area to parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest. And that is, it slows you down. It helps you pause. And it's been a game changer for me in my life.
I guess hence why the journal is called Breathe.
Yes. I don't have it all figured out yet, but
who does? Who does?
No one.
I know that we have put a link to the book and also your website. I know you've got a YouTube channel.
Yes, I do. Rise with Jules.
Rise with Jules. All kinds of free and accessible information that you just can look up right now. Thank you both for coming in today.
Of course.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure to have you in. Tia, always a pleasure to have you in.
Oh, well, thank you. See you next time.
All right, and we will hand things over to Amanda.
Thank you so much, ladies. Health and medical news now. Cycling isn't just good for your fitness, it can also help prevent dementia. More details in your health. A new study has found riding a bike is associated with a 19% lower risk of all-cause dementia and a 22% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. That's compared with taking non-active travel modes like a car, bus, or train. The study involved 480,000 participants from Great Britain, and it was published in the journal JAMA Network Open. Physical activity has long been associated with lower dementia risk in multiple studies, so much so that it's been identified as one of 14 factors responsible for preventing or delaying roughly 45% of dementia cases. Finally, according to a study in the Public Library of Science One journal, walking speed could be a reliable way for improving fitness in older adults. Researchers followed seniors over a 3-month period and found that those who picked up the pace by an additional 14 steps per minute to about 100 steps per minute had greater gains in strength and endurance compared to other seniors walking at a more casual speed of about 77 steps per minute. The study suggests even small increases in walking speed can help keep you spry.
We have no milestones to pass along for you today, but if you'd like to see previously aired milestones or find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
All right, so on to a great story. A man who goes out for his afternoon run shirtless has a brand new incentive that keeps him running. And that incentive is delivered to him every day by a big yellow bus.
Yeah, a school bus. It's full of adoring fans who cherish and idolize a hero they call Shirtless Dude. Here's ABC's Danny New.
This is the origin story of a superhero. A superhero a bunch of third graders in Kansas have named Shirtless Dude.
What do they scream at you, Caleb?
Hey, Shirtless Dude, over and over.
Caleb and Lizzie here moved to this neighborhood a few weeks ago and have always liked to run together around 3:30 p.m. Well, here, 3:30 p.m. happens to be when school gets out at nearby Blue River Elementary.
Sometimes the moms are like, it's gonna pass you again, be ready, be warned.
As you can see, in the hot weather, Caleb has been running with his shirt off, and that, for some endearingly quirky reason, has struck a chord with the students. Now, besides yelling at him from the bus, their young neighbors are even chasing Caleb down the street to ask for his autograph. Look, this young lady actually sketched him with a little six-pack next to a school bus of children screaming, "Hi, Shirtless Dude," and "We love you!"
She was like, hey, can you please sign this picture I made for you? And she sprinted after me and just handed it out to me. I was like, yeah, of course.
Oh.
Another neighbor in a Patrick Mahomes jersey approached Caleb with a shirt he had made.
Is this helping your pursuit to be in great shape?
Yeah, a little bit.
You want to run for them?
Right.
Well, like any superhero's ascendance, now Shirtless Dude is running for a whole lot more people. This video has now reached millions on social media. One commenter writing, "She's going to be in that bus talking about, but did you get his autograph? Didn't think so." And while Caleb Kent may always play it cool,
He always smiles talking to them. They're really nice, so all the kids are really nice.
and the kids have even asked Shirtless Dude to come to their school's Fun Run fundraiser this weekend, and Caleb says he intends on going. Well, don't worry, Caleb, so does Shirtless Dan. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I think I need the female version of that.
Oh my gosh, we love Danny New.
He's awesome. All right, now we're switching gears, talking about the 3-day forecast. If you are going to head out for a run today, just some isolated showers for New Brunswick, a high of 21. 19 degrees on Wednesday, seeing clouds clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. On Thursday, a high of 18, looking at some scattered showers across the province. For Nova Scotia today, a high of 22 degrees, seeing sunshine start off the day, isolated showers into the afternoon. Much of the same on Wednesday, but a mainly cloudy start to the day, and then seeing showers into the afternoon. On Thursday, a high of 19. Sunshine starts off the day with scattered showers expected. Prince Edward Island's looking at a high of 19, a mix of sun and cloud with isolated showers. On Wednesday, a high of 17 degrees, sunshine into the afternoon, and on Thursday, a high of 21, evening showers.
The number one morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's number one hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Tuesday, September 23rd. Still ahead on your Morning Atlantic. Back to class. We get reaction from Dalhousie University students this morning. That's in your local news headlines.
Still to come on the show, the benefits of whole home generators. We'll chat with our partners from Cummins Generators to get all the powerful details this half hour on your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Happy that you're joining us. And coming up in the news, we caught up with some Dalhousie University students as they resume classes this morning following labor dispute. So we'll have those details coming up, see how they're feeling this morning.
Yes, I could have asked myself, one of them, Catherine Hutka, who was here with Child Safety Link. Her son helped her carry in the car seats that we used for the segment.
Oh, really?
He's off to class right after that, so he's probably there now.
Okay, there, seeing what time class starts. I remember how stressful sometimes attending classes were, and especially preparing for exams, final projects too. That's one of those, I have to tell you, that's one of the recurring dreams I have that stresses me out, where I'm in university, I don't know which class I go to, or I'm not prepared for a test or exam. Do you have that?
Oh, all the time. That's my stress dream.
I love school.
Did you?
Love school.
I was a professional student for quite some time. I graduated from 3 different programs.
Right, that's
My mom was
true.
like, pick a job, go. Like,
and I know that you'd love to go back and take even more schooling, which is great to be a lifelong learner.
I know, I loved it.
Yeah, well, that's a great attitude.
Surprising.
I loved it too. It was a fun time of life, but I do have that stress dream for sure.
It's the stress dream.
It was a stressful time.
Like, I loved university, but yeah, the stress of, oh gosh, what am I going to do with my life? And am I good enough for this? And can I pass this?
I did have stress about those things, for sure. You know what I stress about now?
What?
Not waking up with my alarm.
This is, oh yeah.
Missing my shift.
Yeah, that's a real one.
And you know what? I'll tell you, I just updated my preferences, so if I get a call from one of you two, it goes straight through my phone if it's on silent. I did just change that the other day.
Aren't you tech savvy? You have to teach us how to do that.
I'll show you.
I know what Latavia can do right now. Help us get out the door with what we need to wear.
Absolutely. A bit of a cool start to the day. Warmer than yesterday, though, but you may want to layer up before heading out. Above seasonal daytime highs headed your way for a little bit later this afternoon, but as of right now, here's a live look at Baccarrow Point. You can see the sun is shining early this morning. We are going to see that sunshine sticking around for much of the maritime region, but we do have some isolated showers tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada a little bit later on. So 8 degrees right now heading outdoors in Labrador City, 11 starting off your day in both St. John's and Sydney, 13 for Charlottetown and Fredericton, 9 in Halifax. We do still have an air quality statement that remains in effect for parts of New Brunswick, something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that community today. And we are going to see, as you can see here, that band of green, isolated showers tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada, but sunshine still remaining in our forecast. And because of that, we're practicing sun safety. The UV index currently tracking moderate to high across all 3 maritime provinces, tracking low to moderate for both Newfoundland and Labrador. And then in terms of our wind for today for the maritime region out of the southwest, 31 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 15 into Grand Etang with 17 in Charlottetown, 13 in Canso and Halifax, 17 in Yarmouth. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first another look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Classes resume at Dalhousie University today. Here's what students on campus have to say this morning about the return.
It's nice to get back into the classes, back into routine. It's been 2 weeks of just sitting around doing nothing, so it's nice to have an actual set schedule now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy to be going back. I feel like we were all just a little bit uncertain about when it was going to be, so it's nice to have a date now and yeah, be getting back into a routine.
It's gonna be a day. You know, we got all the classes starting. Everything's behind. Everything's gonna have, you know, extra work to get in a shortened amount of time. So that's going to be fun.
I felt very excited and very relieved that it wasn't any longer because we really didn't know how long it was going to last.
Dalhousie students who were hoping for a bit of a refund on tuition for missed class time because of the recent labor dispute are out of luck. In a statement, the school says the refunds are off the table because adjustments have been made to the academic calendar to make up for the 3 weeks lost to the lockout, and the education outcomes will be the same. The student union had been fighting for significant refunds, suggesting students had lost about 21% of the total semester. The spouse of the man behind the Nova Scotia mass shooting is set to publish a memoir. The book will recount the abuse Lisa Banfield endured while in a relationship with Gabriel Wortman. The first survivor, Life with Canada's Deadliest Mass Shooter, is due to be published in January. Wortman's rampage on April 18, 2020 started when he assaulted Banfield, his common-law wife of 19 years. Over the next 13 hours, he killed 22 people in Portapique and surrounding counties in Nova Scotia. Politicians are set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall sitting. The governing Tories have been largely silent on the specifics of their legislative agenda for the sitting. However, the opposition NDP has said it will introduce legislation that would lower power bills by 10% and protect private information. The Liberals also say lowering power bills is a priority, as well as pressing the government on the cost of living and reining in spending. And Nova Scotia's government is forecasting its largest deficit on record. It is a $1.2 billion shortfall. Now, we have seen large deficits predicted by the PCs before, only to end the year in a surplus. Still, opposition members say this amount of spending should be setting off alarm bells.
This government have become masters of what I can only call creative accounting. We never know if a projection is going to swing wildly in one direction or another. But the bottom line is we have the most spending in history, and we don't have a lot to show for it.
I can't predict what the end of the year will look like. This is the most accurate and best information we have right now.
Healthcare costs remain the biggest item in the spending plan. $8.3 billion, or 46% of the budget, goes to healthcare services. Fire crews were called to a house fire on Cobequid Road in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia last night. Emergency crews closed the road, but in an online post, firefighters said flames had spread from the deck into the house itself and surrounding trees. They managed to get the situation under control, but the home sustained significant damage. No word on how it started. In New Brunswick, some say it was a bad batch that caused a sharp increase in drug overdoses in Fredericton last week. Police responded to 13 overdose calls on Friday alone. They suspect fentanyl is involved.
To have 13 overdoses in a 24-hour period in the city the size of Fredericton is not a normal amount of overdoses.
So what the lab would allow us to do is circumvent a lot of this from like these spikes, for example, by giving us the infrastructure to test up front, see what's in the supply, know definitively what's in the supply.
In 2024, there were 109 overdose calls in the city. So far in 2025, there have been 113 calls. Finally, waitstaff put their speed to the test in Paris as they race through the streets of the French capital. Hundreds of contestants took part in the event Sunday. They had to carry a tray loaded with water, coffee, and a croissant and walk a roughly 3-kilometer course without spilling a drop. Now, the first race was held back in 1914. It returned last year after more than a decade-long hiatus. We were talking about experience in the service industry earlier in the show. If you've served tables, I have. I also have to say I'm very impressed with servers who work on trains.
Yeah.
When I took the Via Rail train a few years ago, and the servers were like pouring my hot coffee and tea, and the train's just like going like this the whole time. Effortless.
Yeah, no, that's a special gift. I love that. Okay, time for a little look at nature's fluffiest beauty pageant.
Okay.
It's not what you might
I know what this is.
It's Fat Bear Week getting underway today at a national park in Alaska. It's a bracket-style competition where voters get to pick their favorite brown bear bulking up for hibernation. So the fatter, the better. Voters will get to see early and late summer photos of the bears. Fatter bears have the best chance to survive winter hibernation, and this marks the 11th year of the competition. So this year's winner is going to be announced September 30th. So that's next Tuesday. So voting's open now. The winner will be next week. It's a week-long pageant and a great chance to look at some beautiful bears.
Yeah.
We love that. All right, a little bit later in the show, the St. John Regional Hospital Foundation has officially launched its Working Wonders campaign. We'll get all those details, but first, the best pick in a power outage. Crystal catches up with the folks from Cummins Whole Home Generators and see how they can easily install one at your home. Please stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back with that and much more.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:13. Bit of a cloudy start to the day for St. John. Currently 13 degrees as the ferry is beginning to dock. We are going to see a cool start to the day for parts of the region. Not as cold as yesterday, though, but you may want to layer up before heading outdoors this morning. Above seasonal daytime highs will be headed our way, but as of right now, currently 8 degrees as you head outdoors in Labrador City, 12 starting off your day in St. John's as well as into Sydney, 14 right now in Charlottetown and in Fredericton, and 10 degrees in Halifax. We do have an air quality statement that remains in effect for the northern Queens County. Still seeing a reduction in local air quality due to wildfire smoke. So keep that in mind if you are headed out in that community today. In terms of our forecast timeline, we have a bit of everything starting off the day. A bit of a cloudy start to the day with some precipitation across parts of Atlantic Canada. Also seeing some sunshine within the Maritime region early this morning. Into the afternoon, sunshine will stick around for parts of Nova Scotia as well as Prince Edward Island. But we are going to see some isolated showers continue throughout the day for the northern region of New Brunswick, seeing a chance of showers return for parts of the Maritime region into this evening, carrying into early Wednesday morning. We are looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters of precipitation for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, as well as 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Newfoundland. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs between 18 to 22 degrees, being the warmest into Fredericton, Miramichi, and Moncton. Isolated showers throughout the day today for the northern region of the province. A chance of some spotty showers also for the central and southern region as well. Prince Edward Island's looking at a high of 19 degrees today, looking at a mix of sun and clouds starting off the day. Isolated showers expected into the afternoon. Wind picking up out of the southwest, 20 gusting to 40. For Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, looking at a mix of sun and cloud today. We do have a chance of some isolated showers into the afternoon. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day. Evening showers with a high of 22 degrees. For Newfoundland and Labrador, showers today clearing out into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies with a high of 12 in Labrador City, 19 into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at mainly cloudy skies throughout the day. Wednesday's forecast, yet again, we will be seeing some sunshine, but also some isolated showers will pop up across parts of Atlantic Canada. And then into our forecast on Thursday, seeing a chance of some scattered showers returning to the Maritime region, becoming more widespread into Thursday evening and Friday. So that's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 8:16. There is pushback from the medical community after U.S. President Donald Trump announced that pregnant women should not take acetaminophen, linking it to autism in children, despite doctors saying the medicine is safe. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more.
I want to say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it.
Flanked by his health secretary, U.S. President Donald Trump took aim at one of the best-known pain relievers. Trump's targeting Tylenol for pregnant women, promoting unproven claims that using the drug during pregnancy could cause autism.
So, since 2000, autism rates have surged by much more than 400%.
Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pushed back against the question, wondering if that rise was because of a better understanding and better ability to diagnose the disorder.
If it were better recognition or diagnosis, you'd see it in 70-year-old men. I've never seen this happening in people my age.
It comes a month after a review of previous data which found evidence of a link between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and neurodevelopmental disorders. The European Medicines Agency has looked at the evidence and decided the findings are inconclusive.
It's turning out that we understood a lot more than a lot of people who studied it, we think. And I say we think because I don't think they were really letting the public know what they knew.
Kenvue, the makers of Tylenol, said in a statement, "We believe independent, sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned with the health risk this poses for expecting mothers." In a statement, Health Canada says acetaminophen is safe and effective for relieving pain and reducing fever when used as recommended, including during pregnancy and while breastfeeding.
CTV's Mike Locatour reporting from Ottawa. And fans of late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel are waiting to see what he will say when he returns to the air tonight, nearly a week after ABC-owned Disney took his show off the air. Disney now saying the move to bring him back comes after days of thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, adding that his show was suspended last week to avoid further inflaming a tense situation, and calling Kimmel's comments after conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination, quote, ill-timed and thus insensitive. It's your last look at national and international news headlines. A quick break on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we're talking generators. That's coming up.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
I'm in Upper Sackville, Nova Scotia, and today we've got a powerful subject. Generators. I'm joined by Jordan Chandler with Cummins Generators, and we're going to talk all about these powerful things. First of all, my question is, how did you get into the generator business?
Well, I guess it was my father that first got me into business. I've been driving around with him in the truck since I was a young fella, and now just kind of grew into it. My brother works with us, and my cousin does our books for us. My uncle's in the office, and it's just been great.
So you know a lot about generators because you've
Yes.
been doing this basically your whole life.
Yes.
What sets apart a home generator like this from a little portable one that you might have in the garage?
Well, this type of unit, allows you to power your entire house. So if the power goes out, this will quickly turn on in 30 seconds, and you will basically be able to operate your home as normal. With a portable generator, you're limited just to a few things that can power your home.
Yeah, like you could plug in maybe the fridge, maybe the freezer, but with this, I mean, let's just say even you have heat pumps for heat, that wouldn't be interrupted with a generator.
Yeah, that's right. With this sort of unit, you can have heat in your home and just keep it warm as it always has been. With the portable generators, that is not an option.
Okay, perfect. So when it comes to a generator like this is please don't think that I'm silly for asking this, but like what powers this when the power goes out?
Well, with these models, it's a natural gas or propane.
Okay, what if I don't have natural gas lines to my home?
Well, it's a simple call to our local propane company. They'll come over and have the tanks dropped off your house, connected to the generator. It's really a simple process.
All right, and you would work with the customer to work all that out?
Yes, we handle most of that.
Okay, perfect. This actual generator is going to be attached to this home in a little while, right after this interview. How long does it take to install a generator?
Well, typically it takes 2 to 3 days from start to finish to have this generator powered up, but on occasion it will take us 1 day or half a day.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, it's just basically, I think it depends on whether you want it underground with the wires, how close you want it to the home, all that to be worked out, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about generators and life. So people who've gotten a Cummins generator, can you give me a couple examples of how that really saved the day for them?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have a friend of mine that had a power outage and his basement was flooding, or would have flooded, I should say, if he didn't have this generator as backup power, saving him thousands of dollars in damage.
And what about, let's just say, you were telling me before we chatted today that you had a couple of elderly customers who are grateful because they were able to continue with their oxygen in the home.
Yes, that is a common thing. Seniors have to make a decision. maybe they were going to a home, or they would like to stay in their house that they're living in, but they require a generator for certain equipment that is in the home.
And Jordan, I understand that for maintenance in the future, Cummins offers a service that most don't.
Yes, with Cummins generators, they have remote monitoring features that allows the customer and the local dealer the ability to monitor the generators 24/7. So if there's any issues that arise, maybe there's a maintenance required, we are notified so we can contact the customers so we can address these issues faster.
So literally I'm sitting at home worry-free. I don't have to worry about this thing. You'll let me know if there's a problem.
That's right.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. All right, well, if I wanted to have a generator installed, is this a good time of year to do it?
This is absolutely a great time to do it. The fall is usually the busiest time of year for us.
Okay. And so there's really any time that's not bad, but winter is tougher because of the hard ground, right?
That's right, and the snow, of course.
Yeah, so it's better to do it in the fair weather, if you can think of it. All right, what's the next step if I want to get one of these beauties?
Well, it's a simple Google search. You can look up Cummins.com or just try to find your local Cummins dealer in your area.
Or you can go to our CTV website because we'll put all the information there. And finally, I know that you operate out of the PEI area. If we call Cummins, you're actually going to answer the phone for us.
That's right.
All right. That's fantastic. Jordan, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
And I will add an update to that story. After they installed that generator, that household did lose power that day.
Wow.
So you never know when you lose power.
Exactly. And you know what? Your morning seems to have got a lot richer.
Yes.
And if you do win this giveaway,
buy a generator.
Exactly.
Get it. So get the top model.
We're giving away a staggering $20,000. And we're going to give you the code word.
Yep. Code word's coming up right now.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do with $20,000, Latavia?
Oh my goodness, I would buy all the food in this world.
You're hungry today. I can tell you're hungry.
But what about you?
I think I would go on a nice trip so I could watch the sunrise.
That's amazing. And because you mentioned sunrise, the code word today is sunrise. So head over to the contest page on ctvatlantic.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter sunrise along with your information for a chance to win CTV Your Morning Atlantic's $20,000 giveaway. Make sure to watch tomorrow for a brand new code word. All right, now we're going to switch things right over to the 3-day forecast for New Brunswick. A high of 21 today. We do have mainly cloudy skies for much of the province, some isolated showers as well. On Wednesday, looking at a high of 19, sunshine returns into the afternoon. And then on Thursday, scattered showers across the province with a high of 18. For Nova Scotia, looking at lots of sunshine today. We do have a chance of some isolated showers with a high of 22. 20 degrees on Wednesday, mainly cloudy start to your day with isolated showers returning to the Tri-County area. And then on Thursday, a high of 19, a sunny start to your day with scattered showers expected. For Prince Edward Island, a high of 19 today, sunshine before a chance of showers moves in. On Wednesday, a high of 17, looking at a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon, a high of 21 on Thursday. Just ahead this half hour, the president and CEO of the St. John Regional Hospital Foundation will chat with us about an exciting initiative that helps bring advanced surgical technology to New Brunswick. We'll get all those details coming up on Your Morning Atlantic.
Bring us in, Latavia.
Oh, good morning.
Hey, I'm here too.
You've been
Amanda's here just to moral support. No, every once in a while, if you could just there we go.
Back.
Hilarious.
That's technology for you.
No, a little wrong shot this morning. Little wrong shot this morning. That happens. Latavia, there's a big I don't want to alarm you, but there's a giant turquoise orb behind you.
Right?
Well, let's take a moment actually too to look at these graphics as well. I mean, we've got the Confederation Bridge, Peggy's Cove, Hopewell Rocks as well too in New Brunswick representing. It's beautiful.
I'm going to beat one with a lighthouse right now. There we go. So it's like a lighthouse hat.
3 icons.
Love it. I do love it. I do actually love the new set very, very much. Very
yeah,
fresh.
It's very nice. Yeah, and still ahead on this show, I've been going through your text messages that you've been sending at 10-400. We're going to be talking about what we've been talking about throughout the morning is the toy that you think should be in the Toy Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yes.
Spoiler alert, actually a lot of the suggestions we received from viewers, they were saying, I checked it is in the Hall of Fame, some of those suggestions.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Let's just shout out favorite toys.
Yeah.
I'm happy with just making that the conversation.
So some blasts from the past and some toys I've never heard of.
Fun. I went to the Hall of Fame website just because I love toys, and there's stuff in there like sand, snow.
I know.
Bucket.
Snow? Really?
Yeah, like as the ultimate toy.
Well, the bucket is iconic.
No, first thinking of sand, snow, none of that, and maybe not sand, but no snow in the forecast.
No.
Yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, that's beautiful.
Wow, what a
Don't you
beautiful
love
shot.
the valley, the Annapolis Valley in Nova Scotia? It's beautiful no matter the time of year, but especially the fall.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see the foliage on its way.
I love the word foliage. Thank you for using it.
All right, well, as you can see from our live eye, not a bad start to the day, a bit cooler, but temperatures already beginning to warm up across the region. It's going to be quite a lovely day ahead. As of right now, 12 degrees heading outdoors in St. John's as well as Sydney, 10 degrees in Halifax, 14 starting off your day in Charlottetown and Fredericton, 8 currently in Labrador City. We do still have an air quality statement in effect for parts of New Brunswick, something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that community today. And over to our satellite and radar. Sunshine starting off the day, but also seeing some isolated showers track across parts of Atlantic Canada, but sunshine will be sticking around into the afternoon. Because of that, we are going to talk about the UV index. Sun safety is key today, tracking moderate to high throughout your day for the Maritimes and tracking low to moderate throughout your day for Newfoundland and Labrador. In terms of the wind, out of the southwest this morning, 31 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 17 in Sydney, 15 in Halifax, and 13 in Moncton. No wind gusts to report at this time. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast, but first another look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Classes resume at Dalhousie University today. Here's what students on campus had to say this morning about the return.
It's nice to get back into the classes, back into routine. It's been 2 weeks of just sitting around doing nothing, so it's nice to have an actual set schedule now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy to be going back. I feel like we were all just a little bit uncertain about when it was going to be, so it's nice to have a date now and be getting back into a routine.
It's gonna be a day. You know, we got all the classes starting. Everything's behind. Everything's gonna have extra work to get in a shortened amount of time. So that's gonna be fun.
I felt very excited and very relieved that it wasn't any longer because we really didn't know how long it was going to last.
Dalhousie students who were hoping for a bit of a refund on tuition for missed class time because of the recent labor dispute are out of luck. In a statement, the school says refunds are off the table because adjustments have been made to the academic calendar to make up for the 3 weeks lost to the lockout, and the education outcomes will be the same. The student union had been fighting for significant refunds, suggesting students had lost about 21% of the total semester. Politicians are set to return to the Nova Scotia legislature today for the opening of the fall sitting. The governing Tories have been largely silent on the specifics of their legislative agenda for the sitting. However, the opposition NDP has said it will introduce legislation that would lower power bills by 10% and protect private information. The Liberals also say lowering power bills is a priority as well as pressing the government on the cost of living and reining in spending. And Nova Scotia's government is forecasting its largest deficit on record. It is a $1.2 billion shortfall. Now, we have seen large deficits predicted by the Conservatives before, only to end the year in a surplus. Still, opposition members say this amount of spending should be setting off alarm bells.
Elsewhere. This government have become masters of what I can only call creative accounting. We never know if a projection is going to swing wildly in one direction or another. But the bottom line is we have the most spending in history, and we don't have a lot to show for it.
I can't predict what the end of the year will look like. This is the most accurate and best information we have right now.
Healthcare costs remain the biggest item in the spending plan. $8.3 billion, or 46% of the budget, goes to healthcare services. The spouse of the man behind the Nova Scotia mass shooting is set to publish a memoir. The book will recount the abuse Lisa Banfield endured while in a relationship with Gabriel Wortman. The first survivor, Life with Canada's Deadliest Mass Shooter, is due to be published in January. Wortman's rampage on April 18, 2020, started when he assaulted Banfield, his common-law wife of 19 years. Over the next 13 hours, he killed 22 people in Portapique and surrounding areas. Riverview High School was placed in a lockdown and then evacuated after staff received what's called information of an alarming nature Monday afternoon. The school says the information was received just after 1 p.m. yesterday. Police were called and the lockdown was initiated. Shortly after, students and staff were evacuated to a nearby church. New Brunswick RCMP say the investigation is ongoing. And in Nova Scotia, a person is in custody after a threat was made towards Sackville High School Monday. The school says the threat was made Monday afternoon and police arrived within minutes of being called. The individual was arrested without incident. The school was not placed in a lockdown, but police remained on scene for the remainder of the day. To dry conditions now. If water levels in St. John drop even further, even by 1 meter, the problem will hit a new level of urgency. City officials say water will have to be pumped from First Lake to Robertson Lake, with a dam being constructed under the bridge.
We want to have the lakes back up and full by wintertime, and it's important to have that stored water and ice over the winter to kind of get us through next year.
For now, the voluntary advisory in effect is meant to help the City of St. John stay above water throughout the fall. Finally, this is certainly an event we could bring to Atlantic Canada. Dogs in Winnipeg had a barking good time recently at the coolest party in town. This is called Bark Fest. The festival celebrates everything canine with contests, training, lots of treats, and of course, lots of pets. Funds raised also support furry friends at local animal rescue groups as well. But really, we just want to see dogs in costume.
Oh, there she is.
There's that pup you want, Crystal.
That's the one I want, that chihuahua in the middle. How much is that doggy on the TV? That's what I want. Oh my gosh, just keep this dog talk going. Let's just let this show go to the dogs.
It's just so
cute. Because I have more. For you dog lovers out there, this is your day. Everyone's a wiener at this event. You know where we're going. It's the annual running of the Wieners. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's one of the most popular events during Cincinnati's Oktoberfest celebration. Here we go. 100 dogs and puppies, each dressed in hot dog costumes, looking to claim the title, fastest wiener dog in Cincinnati. And in the end, you know, there really were no losers, just ladies, wieners.
Some of them really had to catch up.
There we go.
There you go.
That's what I'm looking for. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That is adorable. I hope they have a slow-mo cam next time.
Next time, yeah. We'll slow it down for you. Okay, so that was in Cincinnati. What's happening here?
Any wiener races?
No.
No.
We need to have that. I'd go.
And Bark Fest.
Yes, we need to bring that here.
I mean, 2 dogs did get married over the weekend in Halifax.
That's true. How do you top that, really? All right, we're going to talk about your community calendar. So you can join the Friends of Seamen's Hospital craft group every Wednesday from 9:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. in Miramichi. Bring a current project, or you could teach or learn a new craft. And it's going to be lots of fun. So to learn more, visit their Facebook page. And calling all arts and culture folks, you can attend Art Mixers at the Confederation Center of the Arts. There we go, we're back. All right, so as I mentioned, Art Mixer at Confederation Center of the Arts in Charlottetown. This will be September 25th. Head over to their website to get all the additional details. So much fun, and you can find out exactly what will take place. Also, the Prismatic Arts Festival returns later this week in downtown Halifax. The multidisciplinary Art Fest showcases and celebrates innovative work by Indigenous artists and artists of color from across Canada. The festival runs from Friday, September 26th until October 5th. For additional details, head over to their website. And if you do have an upcoming event, we'd love to hear all about it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca. Send us the details. We'll promote it on your community calendar. All right, we'll be right back. Stick with us. Welcome back. The time now is 8:45. We're taking a live look at Burnt Coat Head. Starting off today, a bit of a cloudy start to the day. We are expecting some precipitation to move through as well. Currently 12 degrees in your area. So temperatures are warming up early this morning. It was a little bit of a cool start to the day. You may still want to layer up before heading outdoors. It's not as warm as we would like it to be, but we will be seeing above seasonal daytime highs headed our way into the afternoon. So as of right now, 8 degrees heading outdoors in Labrador City with 12 into St. John's. Also into Sydney early this morning, 14 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Fredericton, 10 degrees currently in Halifax. We do have an air quality statement that remains in effect for the northern Queens County. Still seeing a reduction in local air quality over there due to wildfire smoke. Something to keep in mind when you start your day. Over to our forecast timeline, seeing a bit of everything early this morning. We do have sunshine in our forecast, but also seeing a cloudier start to the day for parts of Atlantic Canada and that green indicated on our map. Isolated showers moving across parts of Atlantic Canada. That will continue into the afternoon, and we will be seeing a chance of showers spread to parts of all 3 maritime provinces into tonight, taking us into early Wednesday morning where we do have some sunshine in our forecast, but also seeing some showers return. So if you're wondering about the precipitation across the maritime region, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters expected. Same thing goes for Newfoundland. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Isolated showers throughout the day today for the northern region. We will be seeing some spotty showers pop up for the rest of the province into the afternoon and evening. Daytime highs will range from 18 to 22 degrees. A high of 19 degrees today for Prince Edward Island, looking at a mix of sun and cloud today. A chance of isolated showers returns into the afternoon. And same thing goes for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia. A mix of sun and cloud today. A chance of showers into the afternoon. Light wind out of the southwest. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, a high of 22 degrees. Lots of sunshine throughout your day, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon, still being left with a mix of sun and cloud. A chance of showers arrives into the evening. For Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at showers starting off your day, will clear into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies, a high of 12 degrees in Labrador City. Mainly cloudy skies for St. John's as well, a high of 19. Over to our forecast timeline for Wednesday. Much of the same expected. We are going to see sunshine across the region. Do have some showers that could pop up throughout the day for the maritime region. And then into Thursday's forecast, we will be seeing a cloudier day ahead. A chance of some scattered showers returns moving in across Atlantic Canada. So that's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. It's now 8:47. The St. John Regional Hospital Foundation has officially launched its Working Wonders campaign. The $10.5 million initiative is aiming to bring advanced surgical technology to New Brunswick, including the introduction of one of Canada's first spinal robotics programs. Here to tell us more about this exciting campaign is Shannon Hunter, President and CEO of the St. John Regional Hospital Foundation. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning.
All right, this is super exciting. Tell us what sets this Working Wonders campaign apart from any that you've done before.
Well, this one is a little bit unique because both programs really do support the entire province. So both touch the disciplines within the hospital that really do serve not just New Brunswick, but PI residents as well.
Okay, great. Let's talk about the specific advanced technologies that are going to make a difference in people's lives. Let's start with the hybrid operating room. How will that change lives?
Well, the cardiac-enabled hybrid operating room, essentially what it means is that it's taking, a surgical suite, but bringing in top-of-the-line technology from an imaging perspective. So what it means when surgeons are in surgery, sometimes with a complex patient, particularly within heart because it's cardiac enabled, the patient could be open or it could be minimally invasive, but they need access to imaging because something has gone wrong. Instead of taking the patient and wheeling them down the hallway or potentially even at a different level, they will be able to do everything within the surgery at the same time. And so hybrid operating rooms are very consistent across Canada. So this is just phenomenal for our heart center. And what I will say is it's a net new operating room. And so the wait times will decrease by about 20%. And that's pretty significant when you think of wait times across Canada right now for access to surgeries.
Yeah, that is huge. And then there we have the spinal robotic arm. That's a whole spinal robotics system. How is that going to improve patients with spinal conditions? There it is.
I can't even imagine. I've sat in so many meetings now with our neurosurgeons and our orthopedic surgeons. It's so complex. And to have advanced technology to help them pre-plan going in when they're putting in the screws into someone's spine, especially if it's somebody with a youth or somebody who needs a lot of screws put in. I just think it allows them to do their job significantly better. And then in turn, what has been proven is that the patient has a quicker recovery time. They're in and out of the hospital sooner. And, the hope is that they will have less chances or need of multiple surgeries, which is pretty common within spinal surgeries. And to be one of the first in Canada is absolutely phenomenal. Our team services half of New Brunswick. And by having the robot here, we'll also be able to fund research, a fellow. And so this is going to be wonderful from a recruitment perspective to our province.
Game changing, game changing. Now, I know there have been some generous lead donors in the campaign you wanted to recognize. You can go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, no, we've been so lucky. So we've been quietly celebrating these two programs over the last 6 to 8 months. And we were just thrilled. We had 3 lead donors who really made it possible for us to achieve just under 60% before we went public. Our first, who's also our honorary chair, is Andrew K. McCain. He was a patient of the New Brunswick Heart Centre and was just so impressed with the care that he received that he came in at $1.5 million as our first lead donor. And then we also had the McCain Foundation come in at $1.5 million, as well as the Sir James Dunn Foundation. And so those 3 lead donors have really enabled us to be able to bring this to other major supporters and now bringing it to the community. The response has been absolutely overwhelming. We are now officially over 6 million and only about 4.5 million left to go.
Wonderful. All right. So people watching right now can help support the Working Wonders campaign. How do they do that?
The easiest thing to do is to go to our website, sjrhfoundation.ca.
All right, we put that on our website to make it easy for people to do that. But Shannon, thank you so much and congratulations on the success so far.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, Crystal.
You have a great day, and you can keep us updated, please, on the progress as you go along. So, yes, we put the donation website on ours. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to wrap up the show right after this.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Hey, it's the last 5 minutes of our show, and throughout the morning we've been asking you, what toy do you think you should be in the Toy Hall of Fame? The nominees for 2025 are out. So here's what you had to say. Begin with Donna. Donna says, mine would either be Scrabble or a Monopoly. I have a couple of each game, even a travel set to take on trips. So Donna loves it. By the way, both are in the Hall of Fame. I did check, so you're in good company there. Colleen says, Rubik's Cube. My daughter also has tons of Polly Pockets, larger ones. Yeah, my son has Matchbox toys and Lego. My grandchildren love all the Save toys. My kids kept them in great condition.
Great job, Colleen.
Also, too, all of them in the Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Monica from Albert Bridge says, my Toy Hall of Fame pick would be Lego.
Good one.
Classic one. So many options. And then Jane from O'Leary PEI says, my toy of choice was the Slinky.
Slinky. We love it.
And that's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, exactly. Always fun. Jerry says, my personal Toy Hall of Fame would definitely be Fisher-Price Little People.
There you go.
Yeah, Crystal, I definitely have a collection from the 90s when my daughter was young that I simply cannot part with.
Hang on to those, my friend. Hang on. We're together on this.
They were put into the Toy Hall of Fame in 2016.
Wow.
Have you heard of these? Millie says, my Donnie and Marie Osmond dolls.
Yep, my parents, when I was a kid, they had them because they loved Donnie and Marie.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they still around somewhere, do you think?
Oh, no.
No.
Long gone to the landfill, unfortunately.
And Millie, who's also from Fredericton, she says, my Easy Makeup.
I would like that toy now, actually, my Easy Makeup.
I know.
I'll take it.
Wouldn't it be nice to just, bam.
Wouldn't that be great? Like did you ever watch that show, The Jetsons? They had this machine, like a conveyor belt you'd go through and you'd get dressed, and the makeup would be done and the hair. We need that here for the show.
It sounds like a dream. I think of the Simpsons episode. I think Marge had like a makeup gun for her face. It didn't work out well, but anyways, I like the concept. We hope you join us Wednesday. Canadian jewelry designer Jenny Bird will join us in studio.
Yeah, I love
really
that.
Exciting, popular stuff.
And the Home Hardware Canadian Curling pre-trials are coming to Wolfville for the first time ever. We're going to get a little preview of the rocks Yes.
It's gonna rock.
It's gonna rock for sure.
And our partner, Mira Estrada, returns.
All right, amazing. So join us tomorrow, 6 a.m. See you then.
Bye.